From soulful pop ballads with chicken clucks to acoustic MJ and original songs, these American Idol auditions brought star power so intense, they could even light up Simon's face. Keep watching to find out more about these iconic performances. Long before she became a Grammy-winning singing sensation, Carrie Underwood was just another nervous American Idol hopeful. Of course, she didn't need to worry. Between her sunny demeanor and adorable humility, she proved to be likable right from the start. During her interview, the singer spoke about living a, quote, simple day-to-day life on a farm, stating that she loved animals and would even get up early to help her dad feed their cows. Underwood expressed her desire to move on to the next round, saying that she'd never even been on a plane, but, quote, wanted to go to Hollywood really bad. Singing Bonnie Raitt's I Can't Make You Love Me, Underwood gave a captivating performance, with judges Jackson and Paula Abdul constantly encouraging her rich, passionate vocals. The initial judgment from the notoriously critical Simon Cowell, quote, very good. Underwood's stunning rendition naturally earned her a ticket to Hollywood, and she even showed off another special talent of hers at Cowell's request. Though it was far from the most impressive display of her skills that day, Underwood announced,
I have the ability to cluck like a chicken.
Okay, make it work. Come on, make it work.
Oh no, I can't smile. I can't do it.
Nowadays, the 15-time Grammy Award winner Kellie Clarkson is known for being a pop superstar. However, back on the first season of American Idol, Clarkson was just a promising talent with a big dream. In her interview with Ryan Seacrest, a 20-year-old Clarkson joked with the host that she was going to be a fashion designer if singing didn't pan out. She even showed off a classically 2000s top she made from repurposed denim. Of course, once Clarkson performed her lights-out rendition of Madonna's Express Yourself for the judges, it became clear that she wasn't in need of a backup plan. Instantly bubbly and charismatic, Clarkson even palled around with the judges, pretending to critique Randy Jackson while sitting on the panel alongside Paula Abdul and Simon Cowell. All three judges said yes to Clarkson going to Hollywood, with Cowell jokingly adding that she could go as long as she delivered a style message to host Ryan Seacrest.
You have to fix your highlight.
You're going.
Though it would seem that Clarkson was born to be a star, she would later tell The Guardian in a 2011 interview, I had no idea what the show was until the third audition. My goal was just to be a backup singer. I never intended to be in front. Jordin Sparks would go on to win her season of Idol and become a celebrated singer and Grammy-nominated artist. But before all that could happen, she had to get through to Hollywood. In her tryout, the then 16-year-old Sparks stated that she had a long-time passion for singing and had been eagerly waiting to meet Idol's age requirement so she could finally appear on the show. After a warm introduction with the judges, Sparks won Simon Cowell's initial approval with her song choice of Celine Dion's Because You Loved Me. Showing off plenty of range, Sparks gave the judges a technically impressive and heartfelt performance to mostly positive reviews, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. While Randy Jackson and Paula Abdul were blown away by Sparks, Cowell called her act, quote, a bit too cutesy, a bit over the top. His constructive criticism was met with determined protest from Paula, who was immediately charmed by Sparks' luminous smile and expressiveness while singing. Although Cowell admitted to liking Sparks, he continued to oppose his fellow judges' verdict that she had delivered a perfect performance.
Everything was perfect.
I think you're going to go.
It wasn't perfect.
I think you're going to do.
It wasn't.
I make a prediction.
I think you're going to do really, really well.
Looking back on the judges' words, the audience would definitely agree that by winning the season, Sparks did a lot more than just well. Today, the fabulous R&B artist Fantasia Barrino is a Grammy-winning singer, actress, and producer. In 2004, Barrino jump-started her career with an Idol audition during the show's third season. During her interview, the then 19-year-old hopeful told viewers what reactions she expected to get from the judges. While she believed Randy Jackson and Paula Abdul would enjoy her performance, she said she expected, quote, a little trouble out of Simon. Once she was in front of the judges, the calm and collected Barrino said she was determined to make it as an artist regardless of how her Idol experience worked out. The young contestant then gave a moving, vocally rich performance of Lauryn Hill's Killing Me Softly. As predicted, Jackson responded to the Truth Is artist positively, saying, quote, this girl can sing, while Abdul agreed, calling her, quote, a strong, wonderful singer. Cowell's initial reaction was also favorable, but he questioned her role in the competition.
I always try and imagine people at this stage where you go throughout the competition because you have such a distinct voice.
At Jackson's suggestion that Barrino sing another song to give them an idea of her range, she gave her dynamic rendition of Tina Turner's Proud Mary. With judges convinced of her talent and versatility, Barrino sailed through to the Hollywood round, with Cowell admitting, quote, "I actually think you're one of the best we ever had." Barrino would live up to the hype as she ultimately went on to win her season. He would go on to be a successful singer, actor, producer, and director, but before all that could happen, Clay Aiken first had to get his foot in the door. The Idol hopeful tried out for the second season of the series, striding into his audition fully confident of a positive outcome. Simon Cowell was less than impressed by Aiken's claim that he was the American Idol and asked underhandedly if he had watched the show before. Aiken's response?
You had some good talent, but I think as far as the top 10 goes, I could have been up there.
Aiken announced he would be singing Heat Waves Always and Forever and delivered a performance that genuinely lived up to the singer's prior statements. Though his vocals were unquestionably stunning, Cowell bluntly stated that Aiken didn't, quote, "look like a pop star." Randy Jackson similarly echoed Cowell's words, apparently astonished that a contestant that didn't physically meet their expectations could be a fantastic singer. Unshaken, Aiken nudged them to move him on to the next round and leave the final decision up to America. With that, the judges agreed that Aiken should get a ticket to Hollywood. True to his words once again, and with a chic new haircut and wardrobe, Aiken would be the runner-up for his season of Idol. Melinda Doolittle would go on to become an Idol fan favorite and later release her debut album, Coming Back to You, to rave reviews. But back in her 2007 interview, the then background singer looked wide-eyed and timid, and she admitted to being so nervous at taking center stage that her hands were shaking. When asked by Simon Cowell if she wanted the artists she sang backup vocals for to, quote, "fall off the stage so she could take the spotlight," Doolittle earnestly responded that she felt most comfortable in the background. However, the artist admitted that she had to face her fears and challenge herself. Doolittle sang Stevie Wonder's For Once in My Life, giving a smooth and energetic rendition of the song. Though the judging panel was dazzled by her performance, Randy Jackson had some concerns over Doolittle's clear insecurity.
If you're a background singer for a long time, I don't know if you can really come up front and be that solo singer.
However, given that Doolittle's vocal performance was one of the best they had ever heard, Randy and the other judges all agreed. When it came to whether or not Doolittle would move on to Hollywood, the answer was, quote, 1,000,000% yes. His distinctive gray hair might have made him stand out among the normally young Idol performers, but it was Taylor Hicks' voice that really separated him from the rest of the contestants. During his interview, the Season 5 hopeful stated that he was a lifelong performer with a passion for music and entertainment. Hicks added that he was happy with his more mature appearance, saying,
"I'm not trying to be somebody different. I'm not having somebody trying to make me look any different."
In the audition room, Hicks started with Sam Cooke's A Change Is Gonna Come. Showing off effortlessly smooth vocals, Hicks performed with incredible honesty, no doubt imagining his dream was coming true. Paula Abdul was pleasantly surprised with Hicks's talent, though she clearly wanted more from his stage presence, as she asked him to sing something else. Hicks expressively snapped and moved his feet to a couple bars of Swanee River, which earned him praise from all three judges. However, Simon Cowell was not ultimately convinced of Hicks's likability and voted against his progress in the competition.
This is a guy who should be singing backgrounds, not in the spotlight.
On one of the rare occasions where Cowell proved to be dead wrong, Hicks went on to win his season. Katharine McPhee's unquestionable talent would lead her to become a successful recording artist and actress of the stage and screen. However, before her regular television appearances, McPhee got her start with an audition for American Idol at the age of 21. In the audition room, McPhee and the judges bantered about the looming, though supportive, presence of her mother, a vocal teacher who instructed McPhee from when she was a little girl. The singer even agreed with Simon Cowell's comment that her mother was, quote, possibly living her career through her daughter. The smash star then sang Billie Holiday's God Bless the Child, wowing the judges with her commanding pop and soul-infused performance. The entire panel was immediately convinced of McPhee's Idol quality, with the often harsh Cowell praising her for a keenly contemporary sound. Their heaps of praise and affirmative votes brought a surprising emotional reaction from McPhee.
You should be excited. Your mom's going to be proud. Awesome.
I would cry.
Ultimately, McPhee's impressive voice earned her the runner-up finish in Season 5. With a background in theater, it's no wonder that Adam Lambert delivered so many attention-grabbing performances on the Idol stage. Little did he know that his Idol performances, starting with his downright regal audition for the show's 8th season, would skyrocket him to international stardom. In his interview, the What Do You Want From Me singer talked about his entertainment background, having just performed as Fiero's understudy in the LA production of Wicked. Of his new ambitions for the Idol stage, he said,
I want to go out there and fearlessly just give them a show.
Lambert made a bold choice with Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, offering an emotional and energetic couple bars of the rock classic. His take earned him praise straight away, though Simon had no problem expressing his concern that while Lambert's voice was good, he also found the If I Had You singer to be too theatrical. Regardless, Cowell, Abdul, Jackson, and guest judge Cara Diaguardi all gave Lambert a yes. It's safe to say these judges were relieved after a clearly taxing audition season.
Can I try it over?
Akila, I don't think we can do any more songs.
Please, just one more, please. Please.
The musical creative would go on to be the runner-up for the 8th season and even fill Freddie Mercury's shoes as the new frontman for Queen. Phillips proved you can save the best for last during the Savannah auditions in Idol's 11th season. The home artist would go on to win season 11 of Idol, but he proved he had star quality right from the get-go. During his interview, the 20-year-old spoke about how much he treasured his father's unconditional support in his music career. Producers spoke to Phillip's father, who gushed over his son's talent, as well as Phillip's mother, who gushed over Ryan Seacrest.
I've got to tell you, I've watched it every year since you've been on, and you are more handsome every year. Not as handsome as my husband, but you are close.
The folk rock artist started his audition with a lively version of Stevie Wonder's Superstition. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with Judge Jennifer Lopez noticing, quote, "It's like you have electricity going through your body." At Randy Jackson's request, Phillips grabbed his acoustic guitar and gave a second powerful performance, singing the Michael Jackson classic Thriller. With sum total 0 doubts amongst the superstar panel of Lopez, Jackson, and Steven Tyler, there was nothing left for the judges to do but send Phillips to Hollywood. Nowadays, Jennifer Hudson is well on her way to earning the coveted EGOT Award Grand Slam, but before she became a household name, she got her start on Idol's 3rd season in 2004. The sunny Chicago native had just finished working as a theatrical performer on a Disney cruise ship before making her way to the Idol tryouts. However, the Empire actor reassured the judges panel that her audition would exceed any ocean-bound Disney performance. Though immediately humble and personable in response to Randy Jackson's prompting, Hudson agreed that she was the next American Idol. The Dreamgirls actor performed Aretha Franklin's Share Your Love With Me with unparalleled technical talent and emotional insight, earning especially high praise from Randy.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The best singer I've heard so far. Brilliant.
It came as no surprise that the votes for Hudson's progress to Hollywood were all a straightforward yes. And though she would ultimately come in 7th place, J-Hud is definitely a winner in Idol fans' hearts. Kellie Pickler would go on to have a successful career in entertainment, releasing music and hosting her own daytime Emmy-nominated talk show called Pickler and Ben, along with journalist Ben Aaron. Still, before she could become a star, she had to overcome the judges panel in her Season 5 Idol audition. In her interview, the cheerful 19-year-old told Idol viewers about her life in a small town with her grandfather. She revealed a truly heart-wrenching backstory about her mother's absence and father's persistent drug abuse.
It's hard to see somebody that you care about, especially your own father locked up in prison.
But despite her hardships, the young contestant radiated optimism throughout the audition process. Chatting with the judges beforehand, Pickler admitted that she rarely sang in front of other people. While this explanation could have preceded a not-so-great performance, Pickler's rendition of Idol winner Kelly Clarkson's Since You've Been Gone proved the young contestant had a powerful voice. The talk show host provided another mini-performance to show off her powerhouse vocals, singing Martina McBride's A Broken Wing. Though Cowell noted that she was, quote, over-singing slightly, all 3 judges ultimately agreed that Pickler's winning personality was something special, and they sent her on to the next round. Multi-talented, creative, and self-proclaimed social media personality Todrick Hall has not only made a name for himself in on-screen entertainment, he's also a Broadway star with recent stints in Waitress and Kinky Boots. However, with all his accomplishments, not everyone remembers that Hall was also on American Idol. Nevertheless, his standout audition was definitely one for the Idol history books. The confident Hall wanted to make sure his tryout was unique beyond any doubt, so he sang a special original piece, written with the Idol judges in mind. Hall's song was a melodic parody that incorporated messages to the judges and jokes about the antics of prior contestants. While his clever lyrics clearly amused Randy Jackson, Cara Diaguardi, and guest judge Joe Jonas, Simon Cowell appeared less than impressed.
I think you're a good singer. I think it was a cutesy audition. Voice-wise, I'm not jumping out my chair.
Even so, all 4 judges eventually said yes, earning Hall his ticket to Hollywood. He would make it to the top 16 before being eliminated. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more The List videos about your favorite superstars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.